exactly 2 months back, I started a little experiment. I'd been trying to get back into writing once I'd given my blog up like a year back or so, and I'd really been like procrastinating as to like what should I write. Like I've already given up once. Should I go back to it? Are people going to be interested in what I have to say? Like various things, right? And here's what the experiment was. Without judgment, I'm going to write one article a day for 100 days. So no perfectionism. I could write about anything that I possibly wanted to. The rules basically were I had to hit a minimum word limit of 200 words. I could even cheat and basically just write gibberish, so just random typings on the keyboard, and that also qualifies. And a few other prerequisites such as like I'm not going to judge my work, whatever. You get the point. Bruh, shut the fuck up. And I'm not exactly sure what led me to do that. I think I was just frustrated to the point I was like, you know what, let's just jump into the challenge and see what happens. And I could sell you the trope of, it felt like the right thing to do. I was really inspired and I really wanted to share my work, but that would be disingenuous. I don't know why I did it. Alright, but I jumped into the challenge and something clicked. The process of writing became much more enjoyable. I really look forward to writing every single day. I mean, most of the days. Because I dropped my perfectionism, right? Like I didn't go in to judge my work. I just went in there to let my fingers do the work and post whatever came out of it. And that whole process was so enjoyable to me. I've roughly written about 35 articles so far, because obviously I missed a few days. I had exams. I didn't account for that back then, at least when I started all of this, because I just jumped into it. I told you there was no reason for me to do it, and I just did. And I thought that for 100 days I'm going to write, and obviously that didn't work out as well. But I tried to stick to the writing schedule as best as I could. And even though after about 35 articles, I wouldn't say that I'm great at the craft of writing, but compared to where I was and how much I was struggling to just put out my work, I'm way better off. I think I have improved a little bit. But the writing process has become easier, and my writing tone, which is how I sound, is so much more authentic to what I actually sound like rather than the shit that I used to post back when I first started off my blog. Oh Jesus, bad days, man. These days I'm just writing for the love of the craft, and I'm writing for one person. That's for myself, and I don't care what anyone else thinks about it, as long as I get to go on there, enjoy the craft, learn from it, make mistakes, learn from them. I think that's time well spent. So what's the point I'm trying to make over here? The point is, which I tried to make on a blog post a couple of days back. In case you haven't checked it out already, you should check it out. The link's in the bio. The point is that for creators and artists that are just starting out, quantity beats quality. And this is best illustrated from a couple of stories that I've heard of. The first one comes from David Bales and Ted Orlando's book, Art and Fear. And obviously I'm going to read it out because I do not know the story. I mean, I kind of have an idea. Actually, let's just do that. Fuck it. So in a class of ceramics, the professor walks in and he decides on the first day of class that he's going to divide the class into two different groups. So the group on his left-hand side would be the group that he graded based on the quantity that they produce. So the number of pots that they produce. So let's say if they produce like a total of 50 kgs of pots, I mean in weight, they would be given an A. If they brought 40 kgs into the class on the final day, they would be given, say, B. And so on and so forth, right? They'd be graded solely based on the quantity that they produced. And the group on his right hand side would be graded on the basis of their quality. How well, like you just had to bring one pot in and it had to be the best pot that I'd seen. If it was an exceptional piece of work, they'd be given an A. And the classes continued and the grading time eventually came about. And here's what's interesting. All of the best presented pots, the ones of exceptional quality, came from the quantity group. When the quality group was busy theorizing over the perfect variables and all these different things that I do not know about ceramics, the quantity group was out making pots, making mistakes, experimenting and learning from them. So the quantity group was just busy churning work out. They were making pots after pots and learning from them. And all of that experience accumulated over time. And obviously the quality group just sat there theorizing about perfection, and at the end, they unfortunately didn't have a lot to show for their work. And James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, retold the story. So a professor in a photography class in a university in Florida, there's a fly in the room. Good time. Anyway, so a professor in Florida, blah 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 blah. So he was supposed to teach photography, and he divided the classes into two different groups. Again, quantity group and quality group. And the quantity group had to bring about like 100 photographs for them to get a A grade, and 90 for B, so on and so forth. The quality group, it's such a tongue twister. Quality. It's just hard to remember. Anyways, the quality group was supposed to bring in one photograph, and this had to be, again, the most exceptional photograph that the professor had seen. And obviously, history repeats itself. The quantity group brought the best photographs that the class had seen, that the professor had seen, because the quantity group were busy experimenting and trying out different composures, lightings, things of that sort. I did not know photography terminology either. Excuse me for my incompetence in the fields of photography and ceramics. So basically what I'm trying to say is, in the process of producing 100 photographs, they honed their skills. And again, the quality group were busy speculating what perfection looks like, what the perfect angles would look like, and things of that sort, right? But obviously, experience trumps theory? Is that what I'm trying to say? I don't know where I was going with the sentence. But anyways, and this advice applies to almost any domain of creative work, I would say. Any sort of craft that you're working on, any form of project that you're working on, right? The reps, especially in the early stages, matter more than, say, the quality of the work. Your job as a creator, as an artist, as a fly is not dead. So your job as a creator or an artist should be focused on the repetitions or the ton of work that comes before the masterpiece. So I gave this example in my blog post. I spoke about Picasso and how well known he is when it comes to his art and his paintings, things of that sort, right? And what many people don't realize is that over the course of his lifetime, Picasso painted 63,000 paintings. And how many of them are you aware of? Like a handful? But it goes without saying that all of those paintings led to him being such a famous artist today. He would not be Picasso if he didn't put in the work, if he didn't put in the hours, if he didn't put in the repetitions. So where am I going with this? I would like to conclude with this. As you can see, this channel has been, it's stalled, to say the least. That's because in the past couple of weeks, I let my perfectionism kick in. I wanted to produce better quality videos, and I really wanted to improve my craft of video making and YouTube, right? And I think it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is. And since I posted the blog post a couple of days back, it's time to hop on the challenge over here as well. So starting today with this video, I will be recording and posting a video a day for 30 days. The quality is redundant. It does not have to be great. It does not have to be perfect. It does not even have to be good. All of that does not matter as long as a video comes out every single day. So here are a few non-negotiables, I would say. Number one, the video has to be 2 minutes long. Number two, I'm allowed to run through 2 rounds of edits, not more than that. Anything more than that, there's nothing I can do. The video has to go up. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's any more to it. Yeah, I could talk about whatever I want to talk about. It doesn't really matter. But I do have a couple of ideas mapped out and things of that sort. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to putting the repetitions and seeing where this craft goes. Obviously, I'm gonna experiment, try out new things, fail probably multiple times, which I'm also looking forward to and hopefully learning from this experience. So if you're not interested in this sort of thing, I completely understand. You can not watch these videos if you do not want to. That's obviously completely up to you, and I would understand if you did not want to stick around. And once again, this isn't for anyone else. It's solely for the purpose of honing my craft and for myself, for my future self. The goal is to show up with the craft, experiment, feel, and learn. Thank you for watching. This is day 1, video 1. Ashwin signing off.